Perfect spring day. Look at that. So yeah, I put the slasher on the back of the tractor and ran around the outside of the farm with the slasher. The log spreader fell over, I've got to pick that up. Put the log spreader back on, do some more splitting. Got lots more logs all over the shop to split. But there we go. It's very nice outside. Too nice to be inside. But here we are. So I just wanted to post a very short video of the what I did in the shed yesterday. So we finished the painting here. Oh, it's the strobing. One of the lights is strobing with the with the camera shutter. But there you go. So actually it looks better than it does on camera. But yeah, it's strictly speaking should do another coat, but it looks good. So that's the first section. So I moved all of the rubbish out of the way to get to there. So it's all in here, as you can see. So I'm going to move it over to this section and then do this section here. Once I do that, I can then begin to lay everything out and then start to build. First things first, once I do that, I'll build a little miter station over here to take the miter saw. It's on the outfeed table I built, the Marks Bagnolo outfeed table. And then move that over to a dedicated station over here. And then that drill press will move over here. And then the rest of it from here up to just before the compressor outlet there, that will all be, so between that compressor outlet and this compressor outlet will be miter station. And then cupboards underneath, same pattern as this, probably the same height, but it won't be mobile obviously. It'll be cupboards, and then I can start building the workbench. The workbench is going to go over here against this wall, and all of that is going to move out of the way. But as I said, that's done. So now the painting is all done in this section, and I used the spray gun. Spray gun proved to be quite effective, and I had to fill the pot up several times, but the little woman, her indoors, helped me out and move the scaff and refill the spray gun while I just stayed up there and sprayed. Little bit of an update on my health. Those who are squeamish, look away for the next 5 seconds. I broke my wrist. And they put a bit of ironmongery, you can look back now, and they put a bit of ironmongery in my wrist, but the joint came right out. It turned, the joint came out and broke a bone and several other fractures. So that's healing, but I've got reasonable mobility now in the hand, but it's still healing. It'll take a while, I think. They say up to a year to fully heal and get your full mobility back. So hopefully it's good, but I'm getting a lot of mobility back. My strength hasn't deteriorated at all in that hand, but just sometimes hurts a bit to move it in some ways, but that's okay. All good. So, but I managed to do all of this and moved all of this stuff around, and I'll move that back into here, paint that, and then should be good to lay out the shed. But that's all I wanted to say. Oh yes, one more thing here. These lights. I bought these panel lights like these. You can see them up there, but they're failing. That one's got one panel missing. That side, that's got one panel missing. That side, that's got one panel missing. That's got panel or two missing. That one's got, I think that one's okay. but they keep on failing, so I'm not pleased with them. But they're fairly cheap lights. Even so, it took a lot of money to fit out the shed. But you can see I've got a new style of light there. I've got a GPO up there in the ceiling. I'll take my hand out of the way, you can see it. GPO up there in the ceiling, and then a chain holding it up. So that's a new style, and I've got a whole heap of them. I bought them on special from Bunnings. And so I'm going to swap over the Edison screw fittings, which are rubbish, complete and utter rubbish. I don't know why Edison thought that was a good idea, but I plugged into a GPO, and that seems to work fine, and it seems to be just marginally brighter and slightly better cover than the other panel lights. So, but the panel lights, unimpressive. These are twice the price of these. So hopefully over time I'll just go through and replace them one by one, but I can swap the internals over of these panel lights. So I can swap the bad segments out, because each one of these segments is a complete separate circuit and light panel. So I can swap the circuit / light panel over between them to make good ones so that they'll last a bit longer. But I think eventually I'll replace them with these if this proves to be more reliable. But yeah, that's the status of the shed so far. It's a huge mess. This is all the tractor stuff as well. I've got to find places for that as well. So hopefully when I build these cupboards, I'll be able to move some stuff out of the shelves over here into cupboards and move some of this stuff up into the shelves. I mean, your normal woodwork shed doesn't need so much storage, but because I've got a farm here as well, I need all of this other stuff to be able to manage the farm. Tractor, chainsaws. I was listening to the latest Wood Talk from Mark Shannon and Matt was saying, oh, he doesn't need that much storage, he doesn't need storage, and I'm thinking, yeah, but dude, you've got stuff all over the place. You've got that huge mobile cabinet, about 3 times the size of that mobile cabinet there. Yeah, you have got a lot of storage. So anyway, I think you can't have too much storage. I think he's living in fantasy land, to be honest. But not to take away from his skill and expertise and knowledge. That's something else again, but that's a different story. Anyway, that's the update. Now, I was just chatting with the little woman, her indoors, this morning about the layout. Most of the stuff is going to be in this area here and this area here, like the 2 sections delineated by the columns, right? So I am going to have stuff in here, but it's going to be on mobile trolleys only. For example, the portable dust collector, the jointer, things like that, maybe the bandsaw, but I want the bandsaw over in the corner there. But things that I can move out of the way if I need to. Oh, and the sheet goods rack. Interestingly, I built the sheet goods rack, and now it's full, and I've got more sheet goods than I can put on the rack, but that's only because I'm sort of prepping for a project. Once I do the miter station, then I'll use a lot of the stuff off there and a lot of the stuff out in the other room. So a lot of that will go away with the miter station. But I think I mentioned before that the miter station, I have all the goods I need for the miter station. So pretty much no outlay. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned is I retired about 3 or 4 months ago. And 2 weeks after I retired, I broke my wrist. So that was interesting, to say the least. But yeah, it's all good. It's coming good now. So I've got a lot more time to work on this now and work around the farm. So I've been doing a lot more work. I've been mainly collecting wood on the farm rather than working in here, but I thought I'd bite the bullet. And since my wrist was as well on the mend and feeling much better now, I think for the first couple of months, I could barely move my wrist. So that sort of cramped my style, and I wanted to get it to a certain point where I wouldn't be in too much pain when I painted the ceiling, and it proved to be the case. Yesterday it was fine. I managed to paint the whole ceiling and suffering no side effects to my wrist, so that's a really good sign. So I'm really happy with that. And then, as I said, this will be next. I've got undercoat to do, and then top coat. I think one of the reasons why this coverage wasn't that good was because we did the undercoat and it was a real pain in the proverbial and didn't manage to do it properly. So there's that. So I'm going to use the spray gun for the undercoat on this section, so that should be much better coverage. And then do this section. I'm going to run out of paint. Certainly by the time I get to this section, I'll have run out of paint. So I'm not sure whether I'll just leave this, buy more paint, what I'll do, because there's a lot of light that comes in here from the roller door when you open the door. But it is brighter in there now. You can tell it is a bit brighter with the ceiling painted. So that's where we are at the moment. Steady as she goes, as they say. Just another walk around the outside to but it is such a beautiful day. Like I said, far too nice to be inside. It's been very, very windy here the last few days. In fact, the winds have come right across Australia and into New Zealand. They've had many cyclones in both the eastern states and New Zealand in the last few days, and the weather that we've had yesterday and the day before is making its way across the Tasman at the moment. But here it's just changed. The weather's changed and it's beautiful and mild and not too hot outside. So it's a very, very beautiful spring day.